Greetings, West Sacramento. Welcome to West Sac Best Eats, where we dine on all the fabulous food West Sacramento restaurants have to offer. Heard exclusively here on KYWSLP 92.9 FM on your radio dial. I'm your host, Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hi.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me at our dining room table for our little program here. Okay. We ate at Franquette, and Franquette is located at 965 Bridge Street, Suite 100 in West Sacramento. It's over there it's right across the street from Drake's, the barn, and it's also right across the street from Sutter Health Park, which I still think of as Rayleigh Field.
Yeah.
But it's right in that area. Like, there's a bunch of new condos there, and they're about to build a whole bunch of commercial stuff and apartments. So that area is about to blow up, for better or worse. But it'll be both. But Franquette is new. It opened just barely a year ago, October 2021. We went there Saturday morning, 11 a.m.-ish. Well, you walk in, first of all, honey, ambiance. It's a small space. It's not a giant building. There's just a few tables. Has a nice bar, and really, I just read their profile in Sacramento magazine, sacmag.com, and they're really into wine, and so they're pushing wine. They want to sell wine. They're going to start a wine club, so they're all about the booze, and that's fantastic. That's fine, but we were there. We just wanted something yummy, right?
Yeah, we wanted some brunch, something light and delicious.
Yeah, because we're 2 days removed from Thanksgiving. I've been eating nonstop, and I need something light. And they even advertise small plates like tapas or whatever. So we weren't going to fill up there, and that's fine because I've been filling up since Thursday at your parents' house. So walk in, a few tables, there's a bar, but even the bar isn't big. I'd say it could seat 8 people, maybe 10. They're seating outside, which is really nice. You're right on that street where Drake's is. Not a ton of traffic, but there's lots of people walking. There's lots of people out enjoying their day. So I think it's nice. It gives like a cafe vibe.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's a very cute little place. The walls are like floor to ceiling glass.
Yeah.
So it's very bright, and it has like a really open feel.
Yeah.
It was really pretty. It was like a really nice place to just sit down and enjoy our food and our drinks.
SacMag would call it a muted palate. I don't use those words, but
whatever that means.
I agree on some level. Very European, very French, bistro-like, if you will.
It does have a European feel. I thought it was a super cute little place. Yeah. I felt very fancy. I kind of felt like I was on vacation.
Yeah, it felt too fancy because I was wearing basketball shorts and a hoodie, and even you thought you were underdressed.
Oh yeah, well I'm in my walking clothes because our plan was to walk along the river.
Yeah,
and then we decided to go to Franquette.
Yes, we were ready for the gym, and we ended up at this cute European bistro in the south of France. The dinnerware. So I got a latte, and it came in like this avocado green cup that like was straight out of the 1960s or 1970s, but it was super cool and cute and just unique.
The plates, the mugs, the saucers, the cups, so cute.
Yeah.
It's totally added to my enjoyment of my meal.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful, cute little green color. They had cloth napkins. Oh, it felt so fancy.
Yeah, and they were like pristine white. I was like, "What do you guys use for your detergent? Are you on the Gain tip? Do you use that Tide? Can you do our whites? can you wash some of our towels?" But yeah, it made me feel like I was Kevin Arnold's dad in the Wonder Years, like when he drinks his coffee out of a coffee cup, reading the newspaper. I felt like it was just old school, and it was just charming. It was something unique you don't see all the time. Mary Jane was on the radio. They had the radio going or whatever music they were playing. Mary Jane, Rick James classic, honey. Do you love me, Mary Jane? And Mary Jane stands for
marijuana.
See, but don't tell anyone that, honey. I remember hearing that when I was in whatever 8th grade, and I was like, "Whoa, that Rick James, he's a naughty, naughty boy." I almost got the croque madame. I'm sorry, their ham sandwich. But
It's so much more than a ham sandwich, honey.
But like I said, I ate ham for 24 hours straight at your mom's house and here. So I was like, I'll do something different. And I almost got a beer. But then I thought, Saturday, 11 a.m., that's when you really need a reality check if you're drinking beer. So I passed on that. I did get a latte. And first of all, they do the little leaf design with the cream, which I thought was cute and fun. And I got it, and it was so good. Like the coffee tasted like coffee, and then I don't know if it was cream or milk or half and half, but it was super creamy.
I was blown away. I think because you and I only drink coffee from our little coffee maker here at home.
Yeah,
we never buy coffee like at a restaurant or a Starbucks or anything like that.
But when we do, once in a while, once in a blue moon, it's like, ooh, this is good.
Like, wow, this is so nice.
Because we buy the great value cheap coffee, and then we throw 1% milk in there, and it's a subpar experience. But when we get like just down home diner greasy spoon coffee with cream, it's like, oh, this is really good. And it was everything that I want a latte to be. It's light years ahead of the cheap crap we make at home. But for $4.50, it should be. You got Earl Grey tea, honey, and it was loose leaf. So oftentimes you like tea, and when we go out, you'll get tea, and I always roll my eyes, and I grumble to myself in the dark corner. But I say, you're paying $4 for some hot water and a bag of Lipton tea, which I'm not far off from. But this time, go ahead and describe like the presentation. It was loose leaf. Like they gave you a.
Yeah, it wasn't a tea.
You were like a chemist. You were like a Walter White in Breaking Bad or something.
This wasn't a mug with a tea bag in it. It was a little pot with loose leaf tea. Yeah. And I love it because it's the kind of pot that has the filter built in. So as you pour your tea, it blocks the leaves.
Yes. And
I like that it was a whole pot. So it was like 3 or 4 cups. It filled the mug 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. I had a sip or two.
It was piping hot. Once again, that cute green ceramic on a little tray with a little spoon. Yeah. It was a fun experience.
You threw some half and half in there.
Yeah, they didn't have milk. I never drink Earl Grey, so I don't really know how I take Earl Grey, but I knew I just wanted a dash of something in it. Yeah. So I used the half and half from the coffee bar. Yeah. And it was good.
Yeah, it was good. But it was more about the presentation, I think. Yes. It was they got the pitcher, and then they got you a cute little avocado green cup, and then they put it on this little stand or tray. This tray stand, and it was cool. It was you eat with your eyes first, as they say.
It was adorable.
So, yeah, it was super cute. And then for our food, you got the brioche and jam, described as house cultured butter, seasonal preserves, and obviously the brioche is bread. Thoughts, feelings, comments, reflections, my love?
It was yummy. It's bread and butter and jam, essentially. Yeah. But it was the largest, thickest piece of bread I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was a nice piece.
A giant piece of brioche. The jam on top of it, it was apple, so that's what's in season. It's autumn here. Yeah. And it was very thick. It was like an applesauce. Yeah. So it was super yummy, very decadent. Yeah. Hit the spot.
Yeah, I dug it. It's a piece of bread with butter and some jam, but it's house cultured butter.
It's the fanciest piece of bread and jam you could imagine.
It's like country crock times a million. Okay.
I felt like I was at a little farm in the countryside of France, and the butter was fresh churned, and the apples were freshly plucked from the trees,
and the bread was freshly baked in our oven, our clay oven, in our little bistro. I got the quiche. So I'm a quiche guy. I can dig quiche. And I got the quiche is described as potato, caramelized onion, green onion, and tome de Savoie. That's a cheese. It's a cheese. So first off, it came on a super tiny plate, dude. The piece of quiche was not a large slice. It was medium size, but the plate wasn't much bigger. Like I put the fork on the plate, and like the tines of the fork took up half of the plate. So just the part where you dig in on the fork, just the end of it, took up half of the plate.
It was more of a saucer.
Yeah,
it was very tiny.
Excellent observation. Excellent word. It was so tiny, and so like. You got to dig into this quiche with the fork. You got to cut into it and move it around. And
you got to be very careful because one misstep and your quiche is landing on the bar top.
Yeah, it was a perilous situation. And I dropped a few crumbs, and I was like, well, why is this plate so tiny? I mean, it was cute. It was fun.
It was comical.
Practically, feasibility of dining on a tiny plate. Just an overall observation. Our food was very attractive.
This place is so like photogenic. It's Instagram worthy.
It's all about the gram at this place. And we took several pictures because we are those people.
Yes, we sure are. And I already posted some to Instagram.
Yes. And I came home and I put them on the West Sacramento Facebook for validation and genuine human connection.
And you wanted to show off a little. Look at my brunch.
Oh yeah. Humble brag. Okay, so the plate was small. The actual food, the quiche, there were potatoes in there, but there were big chunks of potatoes, and the slice of quiche wasn't big. So you had these giant hunks of potato in there. It was just like, it wasn't my thing. Maybe if they diced the potato finer, smaller bits of potato, it would have been more palatable. But there were just a few giant chunks, which did leave room for much more quiche filling, quiche stuffing. So I was just like, I don't need these giant chunks of tater in my quiche. The inside was creamy rather than eggy, which it was fine. But I grew up on an egg-based quiche. Like your mom makes a bomb quiche, my mom makes a bomb quiche, and it's like a lot of egg, maybe bits of broccoli in there, bits of bacon, a little potato, a little chive.
It's delicious. My brother calls it egg pie.
Yeah. And that's what I grew up with. That's what I prefer. But
this tasted more like the one you got today. It was good, but it wasn't what you expect for a quiche. It was more like a potato casserole in a crust.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't my thing. Wasn't what I didn't grow up loving, and still love to this day. But the crust was bussin'. It was super good. Super savory, good quality, flaky, thin pastry crust. It was a good time. And then there was some sort of sauce. I believe it was hollandaise sauce, which was fine. I could take it or leave it. But I'm a old-fashioned, traditional quiche kind of guy. And this was new school or just a different take.
Nouveau riche.
which is fine. But not my bag, but I enjoyed it. It was good. Our total was $27 now. Pricey.
Definitely pricey.
For a slice of bread and a couple of pieces of potato and a quiche. and a cup of tea and a latte. But we're not going to go. It was a treat. It's Thanksgiving. Money doesn't matter. Credit cards don't matter. Going out to eat doesn't matter. But yeah, when you're talking approaching $30, I want some bacon, I want some eggs, I want some hash browns, maybe a waffle or pancakes.
I am excited to go back. I would like to take my mom. I think she would dig it. Yeah. It's the cute, special kind of place that you might take a friend who's visiting from out of town, for example.
Yeah, totally. And that area is very walkable. We actually walked down the street. Well, first we were looking for the Saturday farmers market at Rayleigh Field / Sutter Health Park, and it was nowhere to be found. Maybe it's canceled or postponed because of Thanksgiving. But we had a nice walk down to the Capitol Bridge, the Yellow Bridge, and then we walked back. So yeah, it's definitely location, and you don't want to, go there all the time. But yeah, it is pricey, so just FYI. And there's tons of parking. Well, there was tons of parking when we got there, but less when we were leaving, probably around 11:30 or noon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We love going to that area, parking and walking along the river, crossing over into Old Sacramento. That's something we enjoy doing. Yeah. We were just commenting today that parking's really convenient, but it's moving along quickly. They're building the storefronts, and it's going to be retail and more housing. So we'll see. That area is definitely, it's on the up and up, and it's changing a lot. So
here come 6 Chipotles and 6 Jamba Juices or whatever. But yeah, so overall, all in all, thumbs up for Franquette.
Yes.
Oui. Alrighty, well there you have it, my fellow West Saxons. Thumbs up for Franquette, and I hope you get a chance to enjoy it like we did. Sending you all love and light. Thank you for listening to West Sac Best Eats, where we dine on all the fabulous food West Sacramento restaurants have to offer. Heard exclusively here on KYWSLP 92.9 FM on your radio dial. # West Sac Best Sac. Oh, boy.